Hey y'all, hey! It's that time. It's time for a brand new episode of Wives Wind Down. Clink, 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 clink. Yes, welcome. Tonight is the night. This is a very special episode. Every episode is special, but it's kind of bittersweet because this is the season finale for season 3. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we are here. I see y'all coming on in. Yes, hey y'all. Oh, some of my Wives Wind Down alum and my sisters and the Wives Wind Down family. I see y'all. Hey Renita. Oh, yay. I see y'all. Hey, Lynnette. I see you, girl. I'm going to bring you on in just a second, but welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. Hey, Princess. Hey, Brittany. Thank y'all so much for being here. This has been an incredible season. We have had some phenomenal guests, and I'm so excited for tonight's guest. For those of you all who are new to Wives Wind Down, welcome. I'm your host, Shonda White. I've been married for 13 years now. Whoop, whoop. And I am so excited. I created this platform because I remember when I first got married, I was kind of like, a little nervous. And I remember being a wife and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm a wife now. What does that mean? And then, sometimes I would get a little nervous because me and my husband would have like little spats or little disagreements or heated fellowships, as my sis likes to call them. And so I was like, dang, is my marriage over? What's going on? And then I would talk to other women who had been married. They're like, oh, girl, that's normal. Or, it's just growing pains, or you'll learn how to talk and communicate. And I'm like, well, why didn't anybody tell me this? And so I didn't want to be that girl to be like, you didn't tell me this is what marriage is about. I'm like, marriage is beautiful. It's wonderful. And it also takes effort and investment, and it takes work. And so I wanted to make sure that I pulled back the curtain on what it really takes to be happily married and to have a healthy, loving relationship, because they are here. They are thriving. It is possible. Love is possible. Just keep the hope. But I wanted to create this atmosphere, a safe atmosphere where we can keep it real, we can kiki, we can have fun, and we can be empowered by so many incredible stories and experiences. And so thank you. If you've been rocking with me since day one, y'all know I appreciate y'all so much. And if you're new to the platform, welcome to the Wives Wind Down family. We do this. We love to have fun. And I love when you all, of course, interact in the chat. Some people have become friends through Wives Wind Down, and I love it so much. It just warms my heart. But we are here for you. I'm here for you, girl and gentlemen, if y'all, come through. But I'm here for y'all just to keep it real and for us to just share about what it means and what it takes to have a loving, happy, healthy relationship. So without further ado, let me welcome our guest on tonight. I'm so excited. And I hope you, Lynnette, do your special greeting that you do that tonight, because it cracks me up when you do it. Hey y'all, I see y'all in the chat. Hey Wanda, Alicia. Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey. Come on in the room, y'all. Come on in the room. We got stuff to talk about tonight, okay? We talking, okay?
I live for it. It's my favorite part. I'm like, yes.
Yes, be obnoxious. I love it. Can you see me okay? I was trying to make my mood sexy like yours, but I don't have them cute little lights. I just got a little ring light. That's all I got. So I'm in the dark with a light by myself.
You look fantastic.
Okay. Hey, yes. y'all. Hey.
The hair's popping. The lip is popping. It's a
Thank you, girl. You should have seen me 10 minutes ago. You'd be like, oh, we can wait. We can wait on you.
Me too.
Okay.
You are not alone. 10 minutes ago, I was like, let me get my life together now.
I was like brushing my kids' teeth. I was like, come on, I gotta go downstairs. I was like, come on.
But you made it.
I did. Thank you. Yes. I'm so excited. I'm excited to talk to you. I literally have not talked to you since we met.
I know. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yes. So before we kiki and have a good old time, because I love your energy, I want to formally introduce you to the people. So for those you all may not know, and if you're not already following her and her husband, you need to. But Lynnette is one half of the Mr. and Mrs. JLW husband and wife team. She is a retired stay-at-home mom that runs her virtual fitness business from home, which you can tell by her beautiful, lustrous body. So y'all give it up, clap it up in the chat for Lynnette.
Woo woo! Thank you, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Such
Yes,
a
I'm
luscious
so
body.
excited.
Thank you.
How
Me
have
too.
you been like during the panini, the pandemic? How has everything been going for you?
Lord, well, day by day, right? So every day is a different adventure, especially with like a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old and a husband who are all at home and a dog. So, we're blessed. I mean, you can complain about a lot of stuff and you can say all the things that you don't have, all of the things that are different. But the fact that we are still here, I am grateful. And there are a lot of people who cannot say that. There are a lot of people in a lot worse shape. So I try to focus on the positive and to keep it moving and to empower and support other people doing their thing. But a lot of great things have come out of the panini. I love that. People have started their businesses. People,
Mhm.
you know, some COVID saved some marriages. Hello, some, not over here because we good, but
Right.
there have been just to be clear, because okay. But it has been good. I'm gonna say that it has been okay. It's been okay.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. I see some of your folk. I think it was Milan, Monty. Hey, girl, hey. She said, we in the room.
All right,
Yes.
girl, come on in the room and stay in the room. Okay, we talking all night. My bedtime reminder just went off. That is
Oh,
funny.
yay. I'm sorry. Thank you for saying yes, even though it's past your
Oh no!
bedtime.
Oh yes, just for you. Just for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Oh, yay.
Of
Oh, I
course.
appreciate that so
Of
much.
course.
So take us back to the beginning when you and hubby started. Like, where did y'all meet and how did y'all come together?
Okay, so this is my favorite story to tell, and I'm so glad he's not here because he'd be nudging me like, Lynnette, just get on with it. Okay, so we met at church. I'll do the abridged version because I know we don't have all night. So we met at church, and it was a year post the breakup of a relationship that I thought was it. Like we all have that like one relationship. It's like, oh my God, this is it.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't it. And then so it was like a year, right? And I remembered praying. I was like, God, please allow me to love again.
Mhm.
And I've always been in church. Like that wasn't a thing. Like I didn't just like start going to church because I broke up with this guy. But I
Mhm.
remembered going to church, and my friend, shout out to Kia, she was like, let's go to Salem. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Salem. We were going to this other church because they had a free shuttle because I didn't have a car. And she was like, let's go to this church. I was like, I don't want to go to Salem. So I remember sitting all the way in the back by the door because I wanted to leave as soon as after offering. And I heard somebody singing. I was like, okay. And I looked up. I said, who is that? And she said, that's the pastor. I said, why didn't you tell me that before? Okay. Why
Before
didn't
I
you
was
bring?
lusting.
Yeah, right. I'm like, why you ain't? I would have been come with you. I would have been caught a ride. Anyway, so fast forward, it was this thing about how to be a single Christian. And post breakup, I really wanted to do things differently. You have relationship after relationship that end
Yep.
the same way, and you just can't figure out like, well, you're the only common denominator, so you got to figure out something different to do. So if you want different results, you got to do things different. So I remember praying about that. And so Pastor Joe, Dr. Joe, Mr. JLW was leading how to be a single Christian. And so he asked the question, ladies, what do you look for in a man? So one young lady stood up. She said, I want a provider. Another young lady stood up. She said, I want a godly man. So I raised my hand. Now, mind you, before then, I had been trying to meet him. So like at Bible study, I'd be raising my hand. I'd be like this, just fast, just, just fast, right? Now I wasn't gonna do nothing because I was like all shy, but I was like, I'm gonna volunteer at Bible study. No, a year.
Wow.
And so, come to find out, so I raised my hand. I was like, this is it. This is my shot. Now, mind you, this was the day before. You know how, like, you schedule your mani, pedi, hair done, lashes, like
Yep.
wax, whatever. So this was
Yep.
the day before all that. I had come straight from work. I didn't have time to go home and change. So I wasn't in my tip-top shape now. Okay? Let me just
Yep.
be clear. I
Right.
wasn't stunting on nothing. So anyway, I was like, well, this is my chance. I raised my hand. He was like, yes, sister, in the back. I was like, oh, that's me. And I was like, well, I want a man that's just like my father because my father encompasses all of these things. He was like, well, God bless you, sister. I was like, God bless you. Right? So, so, so anyway, okay, so I'm standing in the line to go get a hot dog because back then I ate hot dogs. Okay, so I'm in line trying to get a hot dog, and I see some friendly. I play 𝘧𝘪𝘳𝘴𝘵. Shout out to all my sorors. And Sigma chapter, and so some Omega Psi Phi brothers from Morehouse Psi chapter. They were like, "Oh, Lynnette, what's up?" Kissing me on my cheek. I'm like, "Oh God, this is not happening."
Yeah.
So anyway, so he ended up seeing me there. We met, and we've been together ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was the day when you all like talked.
Yep, that was the day we talked. So one of his armor bearers came and said, Dr. Joe wants to meet you. And I'm like, Joe who? I don't let me know Joe. And he was like, oh, Pastor Joe. I was like, oh, why didn't you say so? So he shakes my hand. He says, hello, Joe Williams. I said, oh, I know who you are. And we've been together ever since.
Wow. And I almost forgot to mention, tomorrow is y'all's 5-year anniversary.
Yes! 5 years. But look, you got 13 in the game. I was like, man, I can't wait to say that. Like a double-digit year. I'm grateful for 5. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
but that is awesome.
I know how you two are, and you'll go as hard, probably even harder than we did for 10 years. So once you hit that 10, just go extra hard. And I just feel like it gets better and better. It's like it gets a little easier. And I say easier.
You know why? You know why? I think because we get better. Like we know ourselves better. We're more comfortable. We're not as like, afraid to speak our opinion, But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No. That's it. That's what I was gonna say. Look at all the shout outs. Yes, they said happy anniversary. Oh, Claudine, that's another.
Oh wow, 18 years. Wow.
With 3. She's a Wives Wind Down alum, and she said happy anniversary. We celebrate 18 next week.
You. Wow.
Yes, y'all have a lot in common. And 𝘧𝘪𝘳𝘴𝘵 and Sweetness Nunez. Sorry. Oh, Renita, yes, she's graduated from Clark too.
All right. Okay, girl. Hey, girl.
Now she wears different colors, but we still love her anyway.
Oh yes, sisters from a different mother. We all love you. Oh yes, because we just love love. Oh, Milan.
Love.
We just love. That's what I'm talking about.
I love it.
That's amazing.
So how long did you two date before you all like got engaged?
So we got engaged 3 months before we got married. So that was 12 years.
Oh, wait, y'all dated for 12 years?
Yes.
And got engaged and then got married 3 months later?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, so y'all dated for a nice long time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was 23 or 24 when I met him.
Oh, okay.
And then we got married when I was 35, so yeah.
Nice. How was that, having like an extended period of, because I feel like you probably was able, not necessarily avoid, but it's probably easier transition somewhat when you got married because y'all had been around each other for so long?
Yeah. So a couple things I want to say about that, because I get this question in different forms, like, why you date so long? But you have to know what works for you, right? Yep. So that's the first thing. So would I encourage somebody to date a man for 12 years without a ring? Not necessarily. It worked for me. I always used to say, first of all, we always had God in the center of our relationship. So it was never about me wanting something that he didn't, or him or us breaking up because he wasn't. You never give a man an ultimatum. So I said to myself, I had a timeline in my head, and I said, as long as our relationship was progressing, I was fine with the transition and the trajectory of our relationship. Mm-hmm. And I love, like, we are truly best friends, and we had the time to be best friends. Now, had I met him when I was 30, we wouldn't have had 10, 12 years to date, right? But I met him in a season where I was ready to be loved and courted, because I had never been loved and courted. I thought I did, but after you get it, you're like, oh, that wasn't what I thought it was. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so it was great. And it was private. It wasn't secret. It was private. And so a lot of sisters, which is what I used to do, was post about them, talk about them to my girlfriends. And then you get in an argument and something happened, and then you got to explain. I didn't do any of that. And it was the best thing, because our relationship was our relationship. Our issues that we had to work through were our issues that we had to work through. And we had to do the work, because we didn't have so-and-so to give us advice. We didn't have to look and see, oh, that's exactly what happened to them. Let them tell us what they did to get through it. We like really leaned on each other. We like grew up together. And it's like I know him. Like I know him, and like he knows me. And that's something that's so precious to me. And when we decided to get married, we were like, wow, we wanted to look out and see people that we had relationships with. We didn't want a big wedding because we knew, based on our church and based on, like I have 4 older sisters. He has a semi-large family. I'm like, we just didn't want all that. So we told people that they were coming to a gala, and we ended up getting married. So anybody who didn't come to the gala did not. It was like 10 people. It was great.
I love that.
It was great.
And I love that you said, you have to know what works for you, because that's part of the reason why I created this platform, because, so often people have this, they have this idea of what marriage is supposed to look like. And, they want the silver bullet answers. Like, well, when should I get married? And it's like, you have to do what works for you. And it, like, some of those traditional roles and stuff that may work for you, for someone else, it may not work for you. So you have to do what's best for you. Like you said, you may not tell someone else that, but as for you in your house, that's what works for you all. And that's what I want women to see, a different picture and a variety of like love stories, so that we don't just get caught up in like what we think it's supposed to be versus like what we actually truly need in our season.
Absolutely. And marriage has become this social stature. Like, if you're not married by a certain age, if you don't have kids by a certain time, then something's wrong with you. Like, oh, you're not married. Oh, you don't have kids. And it's like, I had this ideal that I was going to be 30 with my first child, married when I'm 28, because that's what happened to my mom. And I'm like, but that's not my journey. That's not what God has for me, And it took me getting into a relationship that I really felt loved and supported and God-centered, guided, to be like, okay, well, I'm okay with this. I'm good. I love how we're going. But the problem is, sisters get in relationships based on their timeline and wanting to be a certain place by a certain time. God said, not yet, because you're not ready. Because if I put you in this, because had we gotten married like, year 5, because at that point, because people started to kind of figure out, a couple years, like, wait a minute, is she, her, like, they together? And so people, would ask questions or whatever. I'm like, in God's timing, at the family reunions, because, at family reunions is people where people want to like just pin you down and ask you all kind of crazy questions. It's like, in God's time, because the second that something happened and it don't work out, he's like, I knew it wasn't going to work out, so.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm the same way when it comes to the whole kids question. It's like people do it at so many different stages, whether you're engaged, you're married, kids or not. And it's like
it's none yet.
It always shuts them down. It's like, guess what? When God sees fit, and then I'm like,
okay.
Because what can you say?
Nothing. Because God didn't tell you; He told me. Okay.
Exactly. I love Sweetness Nunez. She said, same here. Dated my husband from 2006 to 2016, and that was just our year. That April day was wonderful.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And Wilson said, I'm 40 and just started to question myself about being unmarried and without kids. Thank you for the inspiration on doing what works for you. Yes, honey. Yes.
No, you got to do what works for you. And, it's hard, right? It's hard when you see your friends reach a certain stature. It's hard when you feel like you should be there and you've done everything right. And you feel like you should be there, but what's for you is for you. And you never know what testimony or what testimony that you are living out, not only for you, but for somebody else looking at you. They're expecting you to be faithful. They're expecting you to hold steadfast. They're expecting you to be a beacon of light and to say, hey, listen, it's not my season yet, but I support you in your season. You can't look at other people, and it's hard. I get it. Like, trust me, I had those moments too. Like, I wasn't a mom until I was 35, 36. And I'm like, I get it. I have friends who are like 40, 42, 44, still wanting kids. And I get it. But you got to know that your purpose is beyond what you can see.
You preaching now. You preaching. Come on. Yes.
Let me take a sip of my wine, aka Dasani.
Speaking of like doing what's best for you, you had a post and I think a video that talks about the one thing that every couple needs to discuss, whether they're dating or married, and that was finances. So I wanted to ask you, how soon did you and your husband discuss finances, and was it difficult like initially for you all?
So for us, we kind of talked about it fairly early because I knew that in previous relationships, it was like at the very end, when y'all in love and just silly and just
Yeah.
just dumb, it just and then it gets uncomfortable, right? So I'm like, I want to get all the uncomfortable stuff out kind of in the beginning before I like really, really like you and then really, really have to like get rid of you or you really, really have to get rid of me. So it was kind of like, hey, what do you see in a relationship? Like hypothetically, if this were to go the long haul, like what type of relationship do you look like? Do we have, commingled accounts? Like, do we share accounts? Do we go Dutch? My husband doesn't believe in that. He's like, you're not paying anything. I remember our first day. I'll tell you this quick story. Our first day, we went to the movie. Well, no, it wasn't our first day because we went to dinner for our first day. But anyway, it was like one of our first dates, and we went to the movie. I was like, do you want me to use my student discount card? He's like, no. I just like it was just bad. And I always wanted to like pay for stuff. So because I kept initiating or offering to pay half, and because that's what I was used to. And we feel obligated and we feel like, they taking us out or we want to do something nice. He's like, listen, let me tell you something. The type of man that I am, the way that I was raised, this is what I want to do for you. If I need something from you, which I won't, I'll ask you. And I'm like, okay. So it was a quick conversation. So we talked about it fairly early.
That's good. I think that's really great advice too, because I think that's something that, to your point, like if you avoid it too long, then you get married or you're together for a while, and then surprise, you're like,
Yes.
somebody might not be as strong in the financial area. Somebody might be a heavy spender. Somebody might not be a saver. And it's like knowing those things up front and like being able to discuss that comfortably. And the more you discuss it, the less uncomfortable you'll feel,
Yeah. And you have to talk about your goals too. So like, where do
Yes.
you see yourself? Because that's what it really comes down to. Like, where do you see yourself in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? What types of assets do you want to have? Where do you see me fitting into that? How can I support you in that? So it was, what's your savings like? What's your debt like? How much debt are you in? Hello, somebody. You marry somebody and then find out they in $100,000 worth of student loan debt. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
So, so we kind of really talked about that early, and I was really glad that we did because it set the expectation. And see, that's another thing that we don't do. I don't know why we don't do this, but we don't set the expectation. We get so wrapped up and so upset in relationships because the man isn't fulfilling an expectation that we haven't even set. So when you have those early conversations, you set an expectation so that both of you all are on the same page, so that if there's any misunderstanding, you can go back to Exhibit A that we discussed and it's no problem. So, but yeah, we talked about it early.
That's so good. Yeah. Because you're like, now remember what you said was.
Yeah. Remember. And it let me know that he was thinking about our future. It was thinking about more than, oh, well, where are we going to go on vacation next year? It's, hey, this is what I want to do in 5 years. So these are the steps that I'm taking to get us there. Okay, us. Okay, because those pronouns are important. Not me, us.
Yes, us. Yeah. Especially when you buy a house, it's us. It's not.
Yeah.
So, y'all got to come to the table both. Yeah. So one of you can't have crazy credit and the other one's like A+, like you're going to have to work that out.
And I remember him asking me, he was like, what's your credit score? And I'm like, people ask other people that? Like I was, like at first I was so offended, and then I said, wait a minute, I kind of like that you want to know my credit score. Thank goodness it was good. But we also did not do any, like I really, like Shonda, I'm telling you, like I really, and my dad was such a heavy influence, God rest his soul. He was such a heavy influence on the type of man I should be with, the type of man and how he should treat me and what things to do. But I wanted to do everything the exact opposite of what I used to do. So I wanted to date someone. I wanted to be courted. I wanted to be proposed to. I wanted to be engaged. I wanted to move in together. I wanted to get married. I wanted to have kids. Like I literally wanted to do all this. So we didn't move in together. We didn't have any property together or anything before we got married. Like we got married and then we moved in together. So, and then everything started. So, and that, again, that doesn't work for everybody. A lot of people are super successful by, you know, doing things, you know, in another order, and that's totally great. But for us, it worked for us. So
exactly. It's like we said earlier, you got to do what works for you.
Yeah, you got to do
Point
it.
blank, period.
You got to do it.
Speaking of what works for you guys, I saw on your page, one of your posts, which I have said this is one, I truly believe it, that relationships aren't 50-50, they're 100-100. And you said we are all constantly growing and evolving. So make sure when you assess your level of commitment and investment, it's 100. And then you also talked about in another post how like the spirit of division amongst men and women is like at an all-time high. So I wanted to ask you, how do you two protect your marriage as a unit?
Well, the first thing we do is we pray together. We pray for each other. We pray together. That's the first thing. The second thing is we keep people out of our business because, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like self-explanatory, but I think that people really underestimate the importance of a marital bond and what it is for. Like the husband is the band that protects his family. It was the first institution that God created. So you have to protect it. Like this world is, I don't want to say it's against marriage because I really want to believe that we haven't gone that far. Yeah, the devil is. Yes, absolutely. The devil don't like it. So I really don't want to go as far as to say the world is against it because I really want to believe that the world still believes in the value of marriage. We just talked about this the other day, but you have to protect it at all costs, from your mama, your daddy, your best friend, your pastor, like everybody, because when you are in that covenant, it is you and your partner. So I think the way that we protect it is to honor it, to honor our vows, to fight for it at all costs, be unapologetic. I walk around with my t-shirt, I love your shirt, wife, Mrs. JLW, be unapologetic about, I am excited about being a wife. I'm like, hallelujah. Like, I'm so grateful because it doesn't have to be that. And when people see other, like I remember when we first started dating, people would be like, oh girl, just wait, don't rush it, don't get married. And I'm like, I would never give somebody that advice.
Yes.
I would never tell people, if you know that this is the person for you, whether you date a week, a month, or 10 years, if this is your person, do it. Be happy. God honors commitments and he honors the sanctity of marriage. So you have to protect it at all costs by doing whatever you can to do that. So you keep God first, you keep folks out your business, you pray, and you repeat. That's it.
That's it. I love that. I remember when my husband and I first got married, and it was like one of the first trips where our mom came to visit. We were fresh newlyweds, and he had made me so mad. We was having a moment, a real heated fellowship.
I love that. I love that too.
Yes, listen, shout out to Renita. But my mom and her friend were coming to town, and I said, listen, Mom, because I can't fake the funk either. So I was like, listen, me and Eric are in a little rough spot at the moment. I was like, you don't need to know all the details and stuff. We gonna be good. We fine. But just know if I'm not like as lovey-dovey, because I knew I couldn't fake. I couldn't be like, I just couldn't. Because I was that angry, you know?
Yeah.
But I let her know without, like you said, without not honoring the marriage, I guess, or without like dishonoring it, because I knew like I have to protect our sacred space, and I would never put him out on Front Street, and I didn't want to embarrass him. I didn't want to embarrass myself. Like I just wanted to make sure, and we needed to figure out how to work through it, you know. And looking back on it, it wasn't that big of a deal, but at the same time, my emotions were like so high. I was like, okay, listen, I can't front, but at the same time, and she was like, okay, that's fine, and we was all good by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, and too, like when you get over it, the person that you told still isn't over it. So you're like, no, I'm good. I promise. It was just a moment. I was frustrated. I was angry. I felt misunderstood, whatever. And then you get over it, but nope, the person you tell never forgets it. And you're like, I just hate that I told you. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one thing my mom told me. She said, I was fussing about somebody repeated something. And she said, well, Lynnette, you can't get mad at someone for repeating something that you should have never said in the first place. And I said, take that however you will. So in your relationship, how you protect it, you don't
Mm-hmm.
repeat stuff that goes on in your home is in your home for a reason. So
Mm-hmm.
keep everybody else out.
You preaching, girl. You preaching.
Now there are some people who like, go to therapy, which I love. Like I love the idea of, therapy if that's something that you guys need. Sacred stuff like that is different.
Yes,
I'm
that's
I'm
different.
talking about, your single girlfriend who
Mm-hmm.
is your best friend. She's known you all your life and you really want to
Mm-hmm.
confide in her because she knows you and you want to get advice from her. Don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
do that. Even if your girl is married, don't do that because their
Yes.
relationship is not yours.
I think Tayron, sorry if I hope I'm saying your name, Tayron, JY, said even when you are arguing, it doesn't have to spill out once you leave that house. Respect and honor is first and foremost. And I'm gonna tell you
Absolutely.
right. And I'm gonna tell you where else it doesn't need to spill out is on social media.
Oh.
It's one thing if you like having a debate or whatever, but I always feel very awkward if I see someone like subliminal messages, like it just I'm like, even if I
Yeah.
don't know the person, I'm like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
you get hot,
awkward.
right? You be like, oh, yeah, oh. Yeah, or like the posts that are like, I wish love didn't hurt. Get off of social media. Oh God. Oh, you be like, oh, mute. Like I don't even want that in my spirit.
Mm-hmm. Ugh,
Mm-mm.
it's so awkward. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can hardly even talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, can we move on? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, I feel like we always talk about, and we have singles and married folk who part of the Wise Wind Down family, which I love, but I know we always talk about how do you know if they're the one, but there's also a video where you talk about like when you shouldn't marry someone. And I wanted you to share like what you feel like are maybe like red flags or signs that women should be aware of to be like, that probably ain't your husband, girl.
Oh, how much time we got? Okay. So, one of the things that first pops into my head is time because we are our biological clocks. We are all about, like if I don't do it by this time or I only have this amount of time to, do this, don't allow time to dictate who you should be with. And
Mm.
I always talk about women wasting their good years on people that don't deserve it. Like, don't we know when somebody is not for us. Like we know, sis, that man is not right for you. But it beats staying at home on a Friday by yourself. He ain't
Yeah.
that bad. He may be good looking. He may have like a nice ride. Your girlfriends may like him. He gets you into nice places. You take good trips. And then you look up 2, 3, 4 years later, and now you've wasted your good years on somebody that didn't deserve it. And God said, listen, I'm ready to send you who I have for you, but you sit up here fooling around with this joker. So I know you're not ready, so I'm not even going to send them. And then you talking about where the good men at. Well, you could have had one had you been by yourself because the season of singleness is so powerful that we just don't understand the importance of it. We so in a rush to get in from relationship to relationship that we don't even know who we are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
sorry. So that's first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't allow time to be the dictator of who you should be with. Second of all, if you are putting more effort into the relationship than they are, that's not the one for you. You should be like, oh, I don't keep that. Like I remember when I gave Joseph my phone number, he called me that night to make sure I got home, which I liked. But the next morning before noon, he called me again. I'm like, you better call me. You better call
Mm-hmm.
me and make your intention plain. Okay? Somebody, do
Yeah.
you want to have dinner? I had 2 dates. He's like, what you doing? I was like, nothing. I cancel everything. Okay?
I remember when Eric called me, he was like, yeah, this is Eric Wine. I was trying to reach Shonda. I'm like, who is this?
Like, it's me. Hello? Look, hello? Yeah, right? So, so yeah, so if you are putting in more work than they are, if your goals aren't aligned, like we talk about, if you are a religious person, not not like Pentecostal, Christian, Episcopalian, Catholic, whatever, and they're not religious at all. Like, where is that going to go? And it depends on the season of your life too, because like if you're in a season that you really want to be married and you're dating somebody that just like they kind of like in the clubs and like living their best life and being drunk, who are you with?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in a season of your life where you are ready to like help mold somebody to like be what you want them to be? Or are you in a season of your life that you want somebody to help take care of you, that you want somebody to upgrade you? You know what I'm saying? So like you can't, and marriage may not be what you need. Every relationship may not be marriage material. So if you are dating, just date. Enjoy, find out what you like, find out who you are in relationships. In your season of singleness, figure out who you are and enjoy that, and be unapologetic when you do get in a relationship and say, hey, listen, I told Joseph on our second date, I'm like, I'm looking to get married. I was 24. I don't know what I was talking about. But I knew I wasn't a dater. Like I knew I wasn't a person that just wanted to go out with this person, not even talk about intimacy, right? I don't have to. Who is this?
Yes.
Okay, hold on one second. Who was he again? Like I just didn't. So you have to make your intention known, and you have to be unapologetic about who you are. And if the person isn't reciprocative of that, then they ain't for you.
Period.
So, period.
My girl Robin, she said, "Woo, run, girl, run. Yes, honey.
Run fast. Run fast. In
Somebody
the opposite
said
direction.
Somebody said women date for different reasons than men. Men are most having fun. Women, for the most part, look for a serious commitment. It doesn't take long. A man will show you. Listen, I've said it time and time again. When a man wants to be with you, he'll be with you. Point blank, period. It was a hard lesson for me to learn, but it was one of the most important lessons that I needed to learn. Like, I was like, oh, there's no indecision when a man is decisive about you. Like he knows what he wants. Okay. Oh, got it.
Yeah. And he'll make you feel like you the crazy one. Like, you don't see how I want to be with you.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not used to that. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this what it feels like to be wanted? Oh. It's like,
yes.
And then you got the egg on your face, like, well, thank you. I think, so it's like, so it doesn't take. On the flip side, you've been in the game 13 years married, I'm hitting on 5 in about 2-3 hours. But looking back on it, it was never a question of, do I want to be with her? Does he want to be with me? It was never a question. It was effortless. It was bright, and it felt really good. It felt like I had known him all my life. And when you are with someone that you feel comfortable with, that you can grow with, that you can see a future with, lean into that. And we, a lot of times, we as women don't want to like do all this wifey stuff, and then it may not end in marriage. Well, you were just doing it for the wrong person. That's the type of person you are. So we talk a lot about, as wives, like being submissive, and it has like this negative connotation. Being submissive doesn't mean you're weak or you're inferior. That's what the word says. Like a man who submits to God.
And it also says, "Submit ye one to another." I'm like, nobody ever reads that verse. Like,
well, a man that submits to God, a woman should not have a problem submitting to God. So that's biblical. That's the lineage. So it's like when you are in a relationship or in a partnership with somebody that doesn't have a covering, whatever the covering is, or a man should be led by someone, God. Okay. So, and you can't be two heads in the same relationship. That's a monster. So you gotta really figure out who you are and what you want. A lot of times we as women waste our time because we are getting with people that we expect them to figure out what we want, and we don't even know ourselves. So we can't clearly communicate that. So, I'm a big proponent of speak your voice, speak it loud. I hear so many stories about women who are in relationships for so many years that don't end up or get married and then get divorced because time and marriage are not positively correlated. Just because we dated for 10 years that didn't increase our likelihood of getting married. Just like people who get married after a year of dating and they stay married for their whole life. Like, you can't equate just because I've been dating somebody for so long, that means that I'm supposed to get married to them. That just may have been your preparatory season.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Someone asked earlier what was the verse. It's Ephesians 5:21 and then 22 is where it talks about wives, but it clearly says submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God, because that's the whole thing. If neither one of y'all submit to God, and if he's not submitting to God, then no one's going to submit to each other. Period. Like,
period.
so
Y'all just
I can't,
out here
and I think
wilding.
that's where a lot of women struggles, because we don't trust. Some of us don't trust. Not me, that's just fine, but we struggle with trusting our men to lead and guide because they're not submitted to God. And to your
Right.
point, like you were saying, like if you're not submitted to God, it's going to be very difficult to like let him lead or to feel like he's like the man or whatever.
Right.
And for you all to work together as a partnership because you're not trusting like the God in him. And sometimes it's about trusting the God in him. But if he ain't relying on God, then it's very difficult. Like it's very
Absolutely.
difficult to do.
I love that. Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
And then you, when you don't respect them, and then you kind of stepping
Hmm.
out of your lane, and yeah,
Yeah.
it gets real bad real quick.
Hmm. Somebody said, Phipps mom, sorry, chef mom, pocket. She said, y'all have accomplished a lot in 5 years. Yes, y'all have. But I
Oh,
think it also speaks to
thank
the fact that
you.
you all were like
Yes,
together for so long. And
yes.
somebody said, playing house, cooking for men. Listen, y'all know I done wrote a whole book called Don't Be a Wife to a
Why?
Boyfriend, 10 Lessons I Learned When I Was Single. And it's not about, and again, being a wife means different things to different women too.
Yeah,
So it's all about what you said at the very beginning, or not the very beginning, but when you talked about the effort. If you are the only one putting in all of the effort, like for someone who's not reciprocating that back, that ain't it, sis. Like,
it's not.
because marriage and relationships, a healthy relationship is about a partnership. So no one should be doing more than the other. You shouldn't feel like, oh, I'm putting in all the effort. You might have some differences in terms of like personality and stuff, but in terms of like being committed, like we talked about earlier, being committed to that relationship, 100 and 100, not 50-50, but 100 and 100. Like, I'm in it. We committed to each other and we're committed to the marriage. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. And people just don't get that, but you'll get it.
Okay, I got it.
You'll have, yeah, I did too, sis. Okay.
Someone said, I appreciate your honesty and transparency. Yes, we love it, sis. We love it. Speaking of transparency, because we could talk forever.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
I'm not
I'm
even
like,
sleepy.
we're gonna have to bring you on season 4
I
because oh my gosh. But before we wrap, I want to do what we do each episode, which I like to call our rapid fire round. And it's just a little way for us to get to know you, a little fun questions, pull back
okay.
the curtain a little bit more and see how you and your husband like to do. So are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. Don't worry. It's nothing too crazy.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So this is one of our most popular questions. I haven't asked this in a long time, but toilet paper, over or under?
We just had this argument 2 weeks ago. He got so mad. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It comes out. He's like, it's over. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, you get it. But again, as a wife, you compromise and I'm like, okay, so now when I install the toilet paper, it's always over.
We can be friends.
Is it totally like, is that for you, Eric, the same way?
He doesn't care, but
Okay.
as you can see in the chat, they like under. It kind of gets heated, but it's a no judgment zone. So do you? Bernita talking about
It's
it doesn't
over.
matter. Yes, it does. It
It's
matters.
over.
But one thing I have learned in marriage, you can't sweat the small stuff.
You
But that's just
can't.
like a personal preference.
Yeah, yeah, totally,
Hmm.
totally, totally.
Bathroom boundaries or no?
Oh, like if somebody's in the bathroom.
Do
Okay,
y'all have boundaries when it comes to the restroom?
so it's really funny because when we go on vacation, we have to have 2 bathrooms. But when we're at home, it's like, I know, isn't that weird? That's so weird. It's a little weird, right? But it's like I like to set up because okay. So he is a classic Virgo, like very orderly, like
Yeah.
don't squeeze the toothpaste from the middle. I'm like, if it comes out, it comes out, right?
He's
Okay.
like,
He's one of them. And so when we go on vacation, I'm like, woohoo, I don't have to clean, so I'm kind of like, I'm like, whosoever will, let him come, kind of thing. So, Eric, is that him?
You and him, oh God, y'all just messy.
I mean, I like to call it organized chaos. Okay, we have, it's the thing. So to answer your question, it's both. So,
Okay,
vacation is,
we'll allow.
Yeah.
We'll allow it. Okay.
Thank you.
I think I
Thank
already
you.
know the answer. Yes, I think I know the answer to this one, but PDA or no?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, on vacation, yes. See, let me say something. If y'all ever saw us on vacation, you'd be like, who are these people?
We do see y'all on vacation.
Oh, yeah. You do see us on vacation. Yeah. So, but normally, depending, you would never catch us, kissing in public or anything like that. Holding hands, rubbing, hugging, stuff like that. Yes. But, not getting down with the get down. No.
Okay. So you're kind of in the middle. It's a healthy balance, like a little touch rub, but you ain't gonna be like, okay.
No. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that.
You're never too old. Listen. Hey, boo, hey. Lifestyle Fashion. She said, I love them. Hey, Shonda Boo. Yes, I love when y'all use my old school nickname. I just love it. It never gets old. Okay, so you two have a shared IG page. But who's more the social media person, you or your husband?
100% me. 100%. He regularly gets locked out of his account because he doesn't remember the password. I'm like, are you crazy? Yeah. Easy.
Would you rather have a vow renewal or relive your honeymoon?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think I would want to relive our honeymoon. I think it was just perfect. It was just it was perfect. It was perfect. So I think we would want to relive perfection.
Oh, I love it. That's sweet.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this, but the people may not know. Who's the morning person, you or him?
Me. That's a morning person. I get up at 4:15 every morning, and when he has to get up that early with me, he is a crab bucket. Let me tell you, he doesn't usually speak until 6.
Yep.
Yeah. So how is it with y'all? Is it the same way?
You and Eric, morning bird.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Me. Give me some time. Give me some time.
I don't need time. I wake up good morning.
Yeah. He kisses me in the morning and stuff, and the beard is all in my face.
Oh, see, don't you? But you've gotten a little bit more morning-y in the last 13 years, right? You're not totally a morning person, but you've been more. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I say good morning, and I love you, all that stuff. Pray, but I need to get in that shower first before we start. He wants to. Sometimes he's talking. I'm like, I talk a lot and I talk loud. I'm like, you're talking too loud. I need you to bring it down.
I love it, but you got it's always one because I don't know a lot of people who are both who are both morning people or both evening people. I used to be a night owl, but I'm
I'm a night owl. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I can go all night.
Yeah, girl. I'd be like, oh, what time is it? You said my bedtime reminder went off as soon as I thought you saw it.
It's almost time for you. I'm gonna let you go.
Oh no, I'm up now. Right. I'm downstairs by myself. I can do this.
What's harder, apologizing and admitting when you're wrong, or remaining quiet even when you know you're right?
Oh.
Look at your face.
Oh. Is there a C? Oh.
Help a Lord.
I know. Help me, Jesus. Help me. I would say B because I'm a kind of. Well, that's what I told you. You know, like I'm like a last word kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I really don't mind apologizing if I'm in the wrong because that's what you're supposed to do, right? But if I'm right,
Oof.
I'm not gonna let you think that you're right. And I know I'm right. I'm gonna say something. I may mumble it.
Yeah.
I may get it later, but you gonna
Hmm.
know. Yeah.
Yep. It's really hard too with my husband because I've learned, and he gets it from his father-in-law, so he gets it honest. I'm like, I told my mother-in-law the other day, I said, why didn't you warn me? But like, sometimes I'm a creative too, so I get that, but sometimes he can't see the vision. So like, even with my 40th birthday party, I was like, babe, we're
Which was
gonna have everything.
fabulous. Which was fabulous, by the
Thank
way. You look
you.
so pretty.
Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness. Oh.
It was a blessing. I'm so blessed. But anyway, I was like, we're gonna have in the backyard. You know, that's why we have a house. Like, we haven't had anything in the backyard. We're gonna put a tent. Oh no, it ain't gonna fit. He went and got the trees trimmed and everything. And then come like Sunday evening, he was like, babe, I mean, it was beautiful. I was wrong. I'm like,
I told you. That's what I told you. Listen to me.
So that one's hard for me. I'm like, I can easily apologize, but that remaining quiet,
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah, that
But
spirit, you'd be like,
but we're a work in progress. No
we
one's perfect.
are. No one's perfect, but I'm gonna still be like, see, I told
Right.
you.
Okay, which of these is closest to your love language? Hubby cleaning the house, giving you a massage, buying you a gift, or hubby telling you how much he loves you?
Telling me how much he loves me.
Aww.
Hands down. Yeah, I love it. Like sometimes he's just like literally earlier today, he was like, you know, babe, I really love and respect you. I was like, what did I and I'm like again, like ponytail, like just looking
Yes.
rugged. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And it was unprompted, like stuff like that. You can't, but like acts of kindness, like cleaning the house is great. But like when somebody tells you that they love you, like when your soulmate tells you that they look like that just does something for me. So
Yes.
yeah. And
Somebody
gifts, I
said the
don't care about
laugh.
that.
They talking about
Oh.
they were talking about your laugh all night. Yes.
Oh, really? I don't even hear it. I don't even hear it, which is
Yes.
crazy. It's
It's
so
so
loud, right?
contagious.
It's loud, right?
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Which TV wife describes you the most? Claire Huxtable, the original Vivian from Fresh Prince, Rochelle from Everybody Hates Chris, Rainbow from Blackish, or someone added this one the other week, Gina from Martin.
Okay, I would say the third one was Chris. Who from Chris? Everybody Hates
Rochelle
Chris.
from Everybody
Rochelle.
Hates Chris.
Yeah, I would say I'm more Rochelle because yeah, I'm a fusser. I'm a fusser. Y'all don't get to see that a lot, like, because I just, but I fuss. I'm a fusser.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love Rochelle. She's like, it's what you see is what you get. You're gonna get
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you're gonna get all of it.
All of
All
it.
of it. Yes. Yes.
My husband works 2 jobs.
2 jobs.
That's my girl.
Yeah. I
Oh
love
my
her.
gosh, that was amazing. Listen, you have dropped major, major gems tonight. I can't wait for everyone to catch the replay. But before we sign off, I want you to tell everybody how they can follow you, anything you have going on, or anything you want to share with the people. Especially, I know you do virtual fitness classes and stuff.
Yes.
So tell the people how they can follow you, all that good stuff. And then also, what are you toasting to tonight?
Okay. So well, first I want to say, Shonda, thank you so much. This was a blast, and I am honored that you asked me to be on with you. And I don't take it lightly because the people that you have had on here have been awesome, and I'm just very honored that you had me on here. So first of all, sincerely, thank you because you didn't
Thank
have to,
you.
but I appreciate you that you did.
Yes.
Secondly, so I would love for you guys to follow my husband. So my husband and I, Mr. JLW, so I'm Mrs. JLW. We are a husband and wife team that just love. So we have a relationship channel where we talk about everything about relationships, marriage, single, for couples. So for couples, married people, as well as people who don't really have a relationship, who want one, who, it's everything about relationships. So it's Mr. Mrs. 𝘧𝘪𝘴𝘵. Shonda put it in her title. I am also a virtual fitness coach. So I coach women all around the United States and Canada lead a healthy and fulfilling life. So I run small groups. I do virtual fitness classes. I do corporate wellness as well. So if you are a person who is at home, that you want, or even in the office, and you kind of like want to have like a conversation about how health and nutrition and fitness kind of blend, or you want to actually do a class, I do that as well. And my name is Operation Sexy Body, and that's sexy with an I. So Operation Sexy Body. So follow me.
Yes. Yay. And what are you toasting to?
I am toasting to love. The love of self, the love of relationships, the love of love. And people really need to get back to loving themselves, because I think when we do that, ladies, we can find relationships that are meaningful to us, that will gratify our souls, that will uplift our spirits, that will lead us into relationships that will populate the world full of love, and that people will look to us and feel love. So we're toasting to love.
Yes. Cling, cling, cling. Cheers.
Cling, cling, cling. Oh, wait. Cheers. Wait.
Water, juice. Y'all know what time it is. Someone asked, yes, thank you, Talisha322, for dropping that. See, y'all always come through for your girl, dropping it in the chat. I'd be so scared to type. I'm like, I don't want to end my life.
Oh,
but,
let me, I just posted
Milan
it.
Mommy,
Operation
she
Sexy
said,
Body.
where do they sign up for the class? Operation Sexy Body, right?
Yep, I just posted it, Operation Sexy Body. And I post my workouts every single day. And you can find out about my small groups and fitness classes and corporate wellness and all that stuff. You just hit me up.
Yes. And Princess said, cheers to self. We got two princesses tonight. Cheers to self-love.
Self-love. Yes.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that too.
Just like you talked about, Lynnette. Listen, this has been incredible. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. I'm so glad that we're closing this season out. And mind you, I said season, not series. So I'm going to take a little break. In November, December, I'm going to get my life together. Got some things to get together. And we're going to gear up for season 4 for 2022, which I cannot believe we're talking about.
That's crazy,
and if you
right?
join us tonight, you're like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. And I missed the beginning because I had to put the kids to bed or I was just busy. Guess what? I got you. The replay will be available on my IGTV, and Wives Wind Down is on YouTube.
Ooh.
So it will likely be on YouTube, most likely by tomorrow. YouTube takes a little longer, so y'all just give me some grace. But I appreciate y'all so much. For my day ones, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. For those who are new to the Wives Wind Down family, welcome to the family. Make sure y'all follow Lynnette and her husband. They are hilarious, so they will keep you laughing. And they keep it real, which is what I appreciate the most, because I love the realness. I love the transparency. Lynnette, I'm so appreciative for your yes. Thank you for staying up past your bedtime to partake and to Kiki, because it has really made my soul so happy tonight.
Oh, mine too, Shonda. Thank you so much. And thank y'all for showing me love. I love y'all.
Yes, they said, thanks, ladies. You're both beautiful, strong women. Stay blessed. Thank you, Louise. Amen. Congrats, ladies. Enjoy. Shonda, say this live. I got you, Quita. Y'all, listen, I got y'all. Y'all ain't even got to ask, okay? And someone said, Moy Hall Coffee, I think. She said, enjoy this. Been a wife 45 years. Not all easy, but we made it. Woo! 45 years.
45 years. That's what I'm talking about. My parents were married for 40 years. So I'm like, I love it.
Yes. Oh, that is amazing. Thank you so much. What was her name? Moy Hall. I don't know if it's Moy or Moy Hall Coffee, but thank you. God bless you.
Amazing. God bless you and your marriage.
Yes. Thank you for being role models for us.
I know that's right.
Princess Premier Posh in our soror. She said, great season closer. Thank you, Operation Sexy Body and Mr. and Mrs. 𝘧𝘪𝘴. You were great. Congrats on another great season, sis. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all.
We never miss a Monday. Oh,
I can't.
So cute.
I know I can't do this without you all of my guests. You are so incredible, and there's no way I could do it without you all, and there's no way I could do it without my Wives Wind Down family. So thank you. I feel like we have a new family. We're merging our families tonight, and so I'm so appreciative. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great week. And Lynnette, thank you so much.
Thank you. Let it not be like another like 3 years.
It won't.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You better check me, boo.
I know. Check it. Yeah. Who gonna check me, boo? Mrs. JLW.
Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of the week.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.